Brilliance Audio presents Storyworthy. Engage, teach, persuade, and change your life through the power of storytelling. By Matthew Dix. Foreword, written by Dan Kennedy. Performed by Matthew Dix and John Glushevich.
A couple years ago, a woman asked Alicia why she first fell in love with me. Fortunately, I was standing right beside her when the question was asked. I waited for Alicia to say something about my rugged good looks, quick wit, or enchanting eyes. I thought it was this situation, I said, motioning up and down my body. It's never been this situation, Alicia informed me. Instead, she told the woman that it was storytelling that first made her fall for me. She told me the story of the night when she and I went to Chili's for dinner, our first meal alone, before our school's talent show. Just so we're clear, this was not a date. Maybe I wanted it to be a date, but at that time I thought Alicia was out of my league. I still think this today, please don't tell her. Alicia and I were fellow teachers and slowly becoming friends, but we were both involved with other people at the time. We were technically unavailable. Also, Chili's was one of the closest restaurants to our school. My point? I didn't take Alicia on a first date to Chili's. I'm not that guy, okay? Alicia explained to the woman that over the course of our dinner, she had asked me some questions about myself. We'd known each other for a couple years by then, but we didn't know much about each other personally. When I'm asked a question, I tell a story, so I told some stories that night. I was still more than 7 years away from taking the stage and telling my first official story, but even back then, I was always ready and willing to share my life with others, warts and all. Alicia told the woman, that was the night I started falling for Matt. Listening to his stories, I realized that he wasn't like anyone I had ever met before, and I knew I wanted to hear more. I liked the way he told a story. Beautiful, right? I found the perfect spouse through storytelling. Right after the beauty of that moment washed over me, I quickly shifted to annoyance. By then, I had been performing on stage and teaching storytelling for a few years. I had made a name for myself in the storytelling world. I'd attracted interest from businesses, universities, nonprofits, and performers. Knowing all this, why had she waited until now to inform me that my storytelling had been the key to her heart? I told her that the story about falling in love with me through storytelling fit perfectly into my personal narrative and explained how useful it could have been for me for the past couple of years of teaching and performing. You're telling me that I found the perfect wife through storytelling? That's like a baseball player hitting a home run into the right field bleachers that's caught by the woman he eventually marries. It's amazing. How could you keep that from me? I'm not in the business of helping you construct your personal narrative, she said. She's lucky I love her. But you see the point, right? Even before I was telling stories on stage and thinking of myself as a storyteller, the ability to tell a good story was helping me immensely. So let's be clear that when I talk about storytelling, I'm speaking about personal narrative, true stories told by the people who live them. This is very different than the traditional fable or folktale that many people associate with the word storytelling. While folktales and fables are entertaining and can teach us about universal truths and important life lessons, there is power in personal storytelling that folktales and fables will never possess. A folktale or a fable would have never convinced Alicia that I was the love of her life. My friends would not routinely invite me to play golf if I promised them a well-told folktale in between swings. I would not be hired for a job by answering questions with folktales. Nonprofits, corporations, universities, and school districts would not be able to improve their image and messaging through fables. You can't become the life of the party by telling a good folktale. More importantly, folktales and fables do not create the same level of connection between storyteller and audience as a personal story. I have never listened to someone tell a folktale and felt more deeply connected to the storyteller as a result. I may have loved the story and admired the storyteller's skill and expertise, and I might have been highly entertained, but I have never felt that I knew the storyteller any better at the end of the story. The storyteller who tells folktales and fables is a highly developed, highly skilled delivery mechanism, often more entertaining than television, radio, or a YouTube video, but never revealing, vulnerable, or authentic.